Welcome to your back care class. Today we're going to focus a little bit on spinal discs and sciatica. So before we start, you just keep lying down if you're lying down. Don't worry, you don't need to get up. But before we start, I just thought I would go over, again, a little bit about spinal discs. So here's a model spine. So this represents the pelvis, the hips. This represents the vertebral column, so all of the vertebrae. This is the collarbone. So it's color coded, this one. The 5 lumbar vertebrae are the blue ones here. And for any of us who have experienced sciatica, for sure, I am one, I'm in the club with you. Typically, the sciatic nerve, what happens in sciatica? The sciatic nerve gets pressed on by something. And although we might feel it in the butt, or you might feel it in the hip, or you might even feel it all the way down the leg. Some of us have that, right? All the way down the leg. Typically, where it actually comes from is somewhere in here, in between these 5 lumbar vertebrae. And sometimes what it is the discs. You've heard maybe of herniated disc or slip disc, or there's a bunch of different terms, hey? Now, what it means is each of these discs, this is represented by this little white bit here. Each of those discs have a nucleus inside of them. So nucleus center. Think of a jelly donut because it's pleasant and they're tasty. Also, it's a good representation. So what happens inside the disc when there's a herniation or a slippage, that nucleus, the jelly of the donut, gets pushed out to the side. Actually, there's one here trying to show us there. That's the red bit. Now, the thing with those slipped or herniated discs is about 80 to 90% of them are what's called posterior lateral. So what it means is it's kind of this pokes out to the side or to the back. And the thing with that, and our spinal nerves are there out to the side and to the back. So that's why it gets pressed upon and stimulates that pain response. When it is posterior lateral, which is, again, the vast majority of them, the things that can help us kind of push that little jelly back in are things like gentle back bends. So we do things like that in this class a lot. Even just lying on your tummy, this in itself, good news, is a back bend. Can you see how my low back arch is there? So you don't even need to lift up, actually, to go into a little back bend. This is good news if for whatever reason you're finding, oh gosh, coming up is a little painful. The things we don't want to do typically with that kind of herniation are things like seated forward folds. Well, we almost never ever do them in back care class. A seated forward fold is like this, or this, or this. You get my meaning, right? So you're seated and you're forward folding. It's in the name. So, and the reason for that is as we tip forward with the pelvis fixed on the ground without the pelvis moving with us, it actually can allow that jelly donut bit to come out a little bit more. Whereas back bends actually coax it back in. So for that reason, that's why we don't do seated forward folds, even though forward folds overall, I bet feel good on the back, right? So instead, we do things like this, child's pose, or down dog, or standing forward fold. Why are they different? Because my pelvis moves with me. So there's not that pressure on the low back. My pelvis moves with me in these ones. So we'll focus on that a little bit today, and also some strength and release work. But yeah, Lori, go ahead, please. No. Yeah. Great question. So Lori, my friends online, has asked, when you're lying on your stomach, if you're just doing the lying on the stomach thing, how long can you, or how long should you, as long as it feels comfortable? Like some of us even kind of sleep like this a little bit, hey? Oh, so you naturally came into this for sleep. Yeah, maybe that was good for you. Yeah, because it is a back bend. The only thing with tummy sleepers, I don't know if anybody else is a tummy sleeper, you probably already know this, that it can kind of lead to a little neck strain a little later because your head's always turned to one side. But that doesn't mean it's inevitable. It just means sometimes it happens. Yeah, but that's great, Lori. Your body was coming into where it wanted. You don't do a lot of stomach. That's exactly right. Yeah, Lori's saying you don't do a lot of stomach sleeping right after you have kids because it's, yeah, you're told not to. It's not very comfortable. Yeah. Yeah, but now go for it. Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and always please do ask questions because this is how we all learn together. But right now, just lie down. This is your most important job right now. Lie down and get comfortable. Great news. Now, I do recommend that you have some sort of head support. I use a blanket, but that chip foam block with the black cover is a fantastic head support as well. I'm gonna grab a bolster for myself. Sometimes it's nice to place a bolster underneath the knees, or you could always do a strap and a block. You decide what you like. So for the bolster in the knees, what I do is I just bring it sort of this high way up. And then if you want to join me in stretch line, this is fantastic for creating that space in the lumbar spine, the low back. Prop yourself up on the forearms, the elbows, tuck the chin a bit. And then keeping the feet rooted into the earth, you're going to feel like you tug tailbone, so pelvis towards the heels. So you actually lengthen, you create some traction in the low back. Take a breath to inhale. And then as you exhale, just walk your way down. So you're coming all the way down now. Head lands on your head support. And then we can do a little support for the neck. So hands come behind the head, lift the head up, tuck the chin, take a breath to inhale. As you exhale, you can lean that head heavily into the hands. Finding a little counter pressure support here, head into hands, hands into head, take another breath. And then exhale, lower the head all the way down. Beautiful. From there, close the eyes if that feels okay. Choose where you'd like to place your hands today. Maybe hands face down on the ribs. Maybe arms out to the side, palms up, your choice. Eyes can close. And let's start with a full release of the breath together. So full breath in through nose. Exhale, gentle sigh out the mouth to let go. Let's do that again. Inhale through nose. Exhale out the mouth. Yeah, beautiful. One more breath, just like that. You got it. Start now to invite the breath in and out of the nostrils. And as you breathe softly there in and out of the nostrils, find a little bit of space between the lips and the teeth. See if you might be able to invite in a small, really gentle smile to play on the corners of the lips. And then let's take some time here to soften downward into our support. Let the shoulders shrug or roll away from the ears, letting go just a little bit. Begin to draw your awareness to the breath, breathing in and out of the nose. And we'll recruit now that active, full diaphragmatic breathing. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel as you inhale, the belly rise, the ribs expand outward. And as you exhale, the belly draws in, ribs also gather inward. So feeling on the inhale, that expansion, widening and opening. That's it. And on the exhale, that very, very gentle gathering in. So feeling that movement inside the body. When we breathe in this way, there's been so much research around low back pain and neck pain and breathing patterns. This technique again and again is shown as the most effective technique for pain reduction. This expansion on inhale and gathering on exhale. If you want to add on a little bit more, you can also extend the length of the exhale. We've been working with this the last couple of weeks. You might extend the exhale by simply focusing, by saying to yourself silently, I am exhaling. Or you can even add a count. Perhaps an inhale for a count of 4 and an exhale for a count of 6. Now, as you continue to breathe just perfectly as you are, I invite you now to begin to set a samkalpa, an intention for practice today. Now, to set your samkalpa, ask yourself this question: what quality would I like to invite into my practice today? What quality would I like to cultivate in this practice today? And today, the answer might be around rest or healing, maybe even letting go of something you don't need, maybe something else. Whatever answer for you begins to rise up, to bubble up, begin to set that as your samkalpa, as your intention for practice today. See that word or that phrase in your mind's eye. Now let's begin to invite in the feeling of that samkalpa, the feeling of that intention through the body. We can set our samkalpas together with the breath. Please first exhale. Release out all the breath, just letting go. Good. And then inhale, draw that samkalpa through. Exhale, soft, gentle release to let go. Again, inhale, draw that samkalpa through. Exhale, a little release to let go. And one more breath, just like that. Yeah, beautiful. Good. So with that samkalpa, that intention set, let's start now to move the body. Start with a little wiggle of the fingers, a little wiggle of the toes, maybe let the head, the neck roll a bit from side to side. Now, if you, like me, have a bolster underneath your knees, just kick that off to the side so it's not in your way. If you've got a block and a strap, you can also get that out of your way. And then let's stretch out long. So stretch the heels forward, reach arms up over the head. As you do, invite in a big yawn if you like. And then let's do our side or our lateral stretch. So upper body from waist to fingers leans over to one side. If it feels okay on the low back, you can let the legs follow as well. So a little banana shape. If you want a bit more stretch for that outer hip, crisscross ankles. It's a great way to get into that tension where we can have with our sciatic nerve pain. Take another full breath in and out. Good. And then as you're ready, take a little walk back through center. Do the side, the lateral stretch to the other side. Upper body first, then bring in the lower body. Maybe crisscross ankles here if you like. Full breath. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Now take a little walk back through center, please. Interlace fingers, press palms up towards the ceiling or maybe the back wall. One more little tug out through the heels, little extra stretch, full breath. Good. And then as you exhale, let's undo the hands, arms come down beside you. Start to slowly bend the knees. And then go ahead, draw those knees in towards your chest. Hands on kneecaps if you like. Start to draw some little circles here. So knees together. If you can match movement and breath so that half of the circle's the inhale, the other half of the circle's the exhale. And we're massaging that part of the low back, just below the waist, where it's often tender, sore. So go slowly here. This is one way for us to create a little bit of space really safely, really gently. And go ahead and switch directions as you're ready, taking time. Slow, gentle movement, slow, gentle breath. That's it. Thinking of this as a massage for the low back. Yeah. And then let's come into our hip circle. So hands on those knees. You can separate the knees, push them away from the chest, away from each other. And then exhale back in toward the chest and back toward each other. So nice big full circles. Yeah, good. So you might also notice this is a little release for the shoulders. In fact, when we release the hips, we also release the shoulders. The opposite is also true. When we release shoulders, we release hips, because they're the two main joints that come off the spine. So they're very interrelated. I'm just switching directions. You can do that too if you hadn't already. Yeah, you got it. Good. And then as you feel ready, just reach up arms and legs and give everything a nice little shake. You can shake out those arms, shake out the legs, take another breath. Great. And then draw those knees back in towards your chest. Now, next, we're going to reach for the slow-mo ball. So that's the slightly deflated Pilates ball. Make sure the plug is face down. Press down through the feet, lift the bum up, and then just slide that slow-mo ball underneath. So really underneath the bum. Yeah. So it'll feel just a little unstable. This is going to move with us. Take your hands down beside you. And as you inhale, low back arches, so shoulders roll back, think little back bend. As you exhale, you're rounding, you're tucking your tail underneath. So on the inhale, finding a little back bend, shoulders roll back. Exhale, little tuck of the tail. So this is part of that movement that can be very helpful for creating a little space in the low back, hydrating the spinal disc. The spinal discs of themselves are made mostly of water, and the way that they can gain nutrition or hydration is through movement. The process called imbition, like to imbibe, they drink as the spine moves. So this kind of motion, super good for that process of imbition or nutrition for the spinal discs. Now we're going to go from side to side now. So imagine the hips draw a little kind of smiley face, half circle. Hips roll over to one side. If you want, the head can turn to that side too. Exhale down through center. And then inhale to the other side. And exhale down through center. So imagine that it's really the hips moving from side to side. I'll just demonstrate standing for anybody. So that sort of smiley face is like the tips of the smile are up towards the shoulders. Now for this one to get into shoulders, I love bringing my arms out to the side, palms face up. This is a great way to feel a little bit of movement around the shoulder blades themselves, the scapula. So releasing muscles in the upper back. Yeah, good. And then in your own time, just as you're ready, you can start exploring a full circle. So it's as if putting all those movements together. Hips rolling around in a little circle in one direction, full breath. And then in the other direction, nice full breath. Yeah, great. Good. Great. Now we're going to move into our windshield wiper knees next. So heel toe those feet really wide as the mat or wider. Let the knees roll over to one side, say the right side, as the head gently turns to the opposite, say the left. Full breath there. And then inhale everything up through center, exhale to the other side. Now know as we practice that you are in charge of your body. So I'm going to be suggesting movements and options within those movements. If you feel anything in your body that's uncomfortable or specifically painful, no, you can always back off, go back to what you were doing before. We're all a little different, so our practice will also look a little different from each other. Now, here's a few options. One is when to add to the windshield wiper knees, you can bring basket arms in. So I reach those arms up, I crisscross the forearm so opposite hand catches the elbow. And then knees over to one side, basket arms to the other. So nice big twist here. And then I can inhale everything up and exhale to the other side. This can be nice for releasing the upper back. You want to get into those shoulders a little deeper today. You can do a scapula or shoulder blade movement. And I'll just demonstrate that for anybody who's curious. The arms come down, knees go to one side, say the right, and then same hand, right hand goes to opposite left rib cage. That was a lot of words. If you're not sure, take a little look at me. And then you can just roll that left rib cage over to the right side. So what you're essentially doing is grasping the ribs of the side of the body where the knees are not pointed to and rolling them over towards the knees. So you get an extra little movement for the scapula. Be gentle if you have any bone density issues because the ribs are one of the finer bones. It can be great for getting a little deeper into those shoulders. I'm going to continue to offer options. So again, not necessary that you do all of these. You choose what fits you best. The next one is for the hips. And that's where we bring the knees over to one side. We do a variation of figure 4 by taking the bottom ankle and crossing it over the top thigh. This one, if you've got a really sensitive low back today, it may not be the best fit for you. It creates just a tiny twist in the lowest part of the back. Now that in itself is not in any way harmful, but if you already are sort of a little bit braced in that area, like the muscles are slightly spasmed, you might not want to do this one because it might sort of add to a little bit of that tension. Yeah. I'm going to give you another option. And this one is one that I do really recommend for all of us. So good for core strength. Now, with this one, we heel toe the feet to a narrow hip distance apart. So those feet are just barely apart. Hands down beside you. We're going to lift up one leg at a time. So let's all lift up the right leg, knee a little bit bent, and then we can start to draw a little circle here. Now, this is challenging your core stability. So really normal to feel a little unstable. One thing you can add in here is your exhale. It's a wonderful way that we can recruit the deep core abdominal muscles and the muscles of the pelvic floor. They're super important in stabilizing the spine. And then as you start to feel more stable, you can do wider, bigger circles or maybe a little figure 8 movement. And then to go even a little bit more, if you want, you can lower and raise the leg where you inhale, leg lowers just a bit. And then on the exhale, you leg right back up. Yeah, that's it. And go with your breath. This does not need to be low, the leg, especially if you're working with anything like a prolapse or a hernia. Do it just a few inches. It doesn't need to be low. If you're okay to bring the leg low and it doesn't cause you any pain, for sure you can. Just saying you don't need to. We're going to take another couple of breaths like that. Find that strong shush, please, on the exhale. Everyone's got it. Yes. Good. And then let's meet with both feet flat on the floor. Take a little pause. You might need to adjust that slow-mo ball so it's underneath the bum again. And then let's lift up the opposite leg. So left leg up, knee a little bit bent, and start to explore again that stability challenge. So we're challenging stability by rolling that left leg around as we stabilize into the right foot, right leg. Good. And then as you start to feel a little bit more stable, if that's so, using your shush breath, you can invite in a bigger circle or a figure 8, kind of infinity symbol movement. Yeah, great. Yes. And then we can work on lowering and raising the legs. We inhale, leg lowers a little bit, and then we shush it right back up. Yeah, you've got it. Go with your breath. Soft, gentle, long shush breath. When we do that shush sound, it contracts the muscles of the abdomen and the transverse abdominis, as well as lifts the muscles of the pelvic floor. And that contraction, that lift, helps to support the back. Let's do one or two more like that. You got it. And then let's go ahead and meet with both feet flat on the floor. You might want to wiggle the hips a little bit. And then as you're ready, press down through the heels, lift the bum up, remove the slow-mo ball, come all the way down, and then see what might feel good for you. So maybe that's windshield wiper knees, or just a pause, or maybe knees to chest. Have a little check-in. What feels good for me right now? How can I best support myself in this moment? Yeah, beautiful, good. Now we're going to change our position from here. So as you're ready, take a little roll over to one side and just give yourself a little pause as you roll to one side. Take a full breath. Yeah. And then as you feel ready, let's come to meet for spinal waves. So I like to press down through one palm, push myself up. And then we can meet for spinal waves. So your choice, you can be on hands and knees here or seated if hands and knees doesn't feel good. Now, if wrists are tender, rather than having the palms face down, you can come onto fists, or you can come down to your forearms on a bolster. So you choose for you what's going to feel best. If your knees are sensitive, mine are, you can pad underneath them. Now here, we're going to round the spine. Here's our exhale. So we're rounding spine, but tail comes with us. And then as you inhale, tailbone tilts up, shoulders roll back, gazes forward. Go with your breath. Just move as you want to move here. This is, again, that same movement we did on our back with the slow-mo ball. But here we get a lot more movement in the upper back. Hydrating the spinal discs every time we move. Now, if you want to get a little deeper into shoulders, sometimes that's nice. You can focus on sort of straightening the arms on the exhale as you round, and then bending the elbows as you inhale. One way for you to get into it a little bit more if you want. Now I'm going to offer a number of options from this place. This next one is again for shoulders, and it's a good way to get into that movement of the shoulder blades. You bring your fingertips off the mat. Bring your bum way back. So already you've got a shoulder stretch happening. And then you can move the hips from side to side, straightening the arm of the side you're not leaning to, bending the opposite, and then going to the other side. So for some of us, this feels good. If your knees are really tender, though, this may not be the best option for you. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit more for strength here for the next option. No, this is optional. What I do for this one is I once again bring the hands down or forearms. I'll bring the bum back on the exhale, so child's pose. And then on the inhale, I'll come up to a plank pose. If it feels okay, I can tuck toes under, lift up. And then on the exhale, knees down and lean back into child's pose. So here, lots of options. You can choose to stay on knees, or you can choose to tuck toes under, lift up, and then come back. If you are feeling a little peppier than I today, you can also, as you bring the knees up, lift one leg up. And that's an extra little challenge for your deep back muscles, the multifidus. We'll get into those a little bit later. So certainly you don't need to do this variation now. You're always taking your time, doing what feels best for your body. It doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. You're doing what feels good for you. Good. The next couple of breaths, we're going to come to meet in child's pose in our balasana. So as you're ready, you can take your choice, either knees together or knees apart, and slide your bum back into child's pose. If you've got a bolster there, you might grab it to cuddle into, or you can crisscross forearms to support the head, or bring the arms forward or back, making sure our head in some way is supported. Great, yeah. And here, such a wonderful way for us to stretch and release the muscles of the back. What we can do to add on to that is breathe fully. Feel ribs expand as you inhale. And feel ribs gather in as you exhale. Yeah. Beautiful, yes. For some of us, it might feel good to rock the head a bit from side to side, sort of massaging the forehead, releasing the neck a bit. You can try that and see how that feels. Yes, beautiful. Good. Let's take another breath in and out here. Wonderful. Now, from this place where we're going to go to next is our strength building on our tummy. If for whatever reason it's not right for you to spend time on your tummy, you can come onto your back for your series now. If you're okay to come on down to the tummy, take the props off to the side and come meet me. So we'll come on to the tummy with the forearms crisscrossed and the forehead supported by the back of the hand. Now we start first with our toe tucking, heel tugging. So this is great for sciatic nerve release. What we'll do is tuck the toes of the right foot under. As you inhale, tug the heel back. So you feel a little stretch in the hip. As you exhale, untuck, top of the foot comes onto the ground, toenails on the ground. Inhale, lift up the right leg, does not need to be high, you got it. And then exhale, lower it down. Left side, toes tuck under. Tug heel back as you inhale. Exhale, untuck top of the foot onto the ground. Inhale, leg comes up. And exhale down. Right side once again, toes tuck under. Tug heel back as you inhale. Exhale, untuck top of the foot onto the ground. Inhale, leg up. And exhale down. Left side last time, toes tuck under. Tug heel back as you inhale. Exhale, untuck top of the foot onto the ground. You've got it. Inhale, leg up. Yeah, beautiful. Exhale down. Go ahead, turn your cheek to one side, bend the knees. Let the lower legs sway from side to side. So a reminder, again, even without doing anything with the leg, here we're already in that gentle back bend. Now we'll come into our cobra from here, if that's okay for you. Legs down, hands slide back. So this time we'll be lifting the chest up and down a little bit. So fingers spread. As you inhale, start to tug back, lift the chest up. Keep lower ribs on the ground. You got it. Exhale, lower down. I'm going to do that 3 times. So we inhale, tug back, and lift up. On the exhale, lowering down. Now this time for strength. So let's inhale up. As you exhale, come partway down, pause. I'm going to test our strength. See, can you breathe and come onto your fingertips? Full breath. Can you continue to breathe and lift the hands up? This is optional. Take one more breath. Good. Come all the way down. Come all the way down. Crisscross your forearms once again. Maybe turn your cheek to the opposite side. Bend the knees. Lower legs. Sway from side to side. You've got it. Beautiful. Good. Now we're going to do a little combination of cobra and a leg lift now. So bring the legs down again, please. You can choose for this one to either have the hands in that cobra position, or if you prefer, arms behind you, palms up. So we all have different things that feel better. You choose. And what we're going to do is lift up the chest and the head, just as we did before, but also the right leg. There's the inhale. And then we exhale, lower down. Let's try that again. Inhale, lifting up, maybe even hands up if it's okay. Exhale down. And then this one to hold, so we inhale up. On the exhale, come partway down, pause. Take another breath, really think about lengthening through crown of the head, lengthening through the heel, and exhale down. Once again, find that crisscrossing, turn the cheek, bend the knees, lower legs, sway from side to side. So just gentle, gentle release here. Beautiful. Okay. Here's the final movement we'll do on our tummy. Once again, legs down. This time it'll be the left leg coming up and down. So you choose. Maybe it's that cobra position. Maybe it's arms back. I'm going to do the arms back this time. Left leg coming up. As you inhale, lift up, left leg up. Exhale down. Again, inhale, left leg up. Yes, exhale down. Beautiful. This time to hold, we inhale up. Yes. Exhale, partway down, take a little pause, breathe, and come all the way down. You got it. Okay, once again, last time. Crisscross those forearms, bend the knees, lower legs, sway from side to side. Beautiful. So after that back strengthening work, great to do back release. So option 1 is to stay as you are. Option 2, come up through hands and knees for child's pose. Option 3, coming up into downward facing dog. So you choose for you what feels best for you. Doesn't matter what you choose. We'll be exploring that for about 5 breaths or so. If you're in down dog, it might feel good to walk your dog. That's bend one knee, press the opposite heel. If you're in child's pose, you might even experiment the little movement of arms. Maybe they go over to one side for a couple of breaths, and then over to the other side for a couple of breaths. Yeah, you got it. Let's take 2 more breaths, however we are. Good. 1 more breath. Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Good. Excellent. You got it. Okay. Now we're going to do a little bit more strength work. So come just so that you can see me. So it doesn't matter where you are. We're going to do some multifidus back strengthening. So those are the deep muscles of the back. When they get stronger, typically we feel less pain in the low back. It also really helps to protect against the nerves pressing down. So hands and knees again, or forearms and knees. So hands and knees, or come onto your forearms. Come with me now. All right. Now, we're going to work on the multifidus back muscles of the low back. So what that means is the arms won't be moving today, just the legs. So if at any point the wrists get a little sore, come on to fists or forearms, okay? Let's start with the right leg extended back. Now you'll feel your weight probably shift to the left, yes? So let's roll the top of that right hip down. See if you can shift yourself into center. We're going to work with our breath. Let's inhale, bring the knee in towards the chest. So it just sort of floats above the mat. And then as you exhale, slide it out. Try again. Inhale, trying to keep those hips level. Exhale and shush it back. You got it one more time. Inhale. Good. Exhale, shush it back. Now, here, lift the leg up to about hip height, so it does not need to be high at all. Press out through the heel. Take one more breath there. So get a little taller if you can through the arms. Good. And then go ahead and bring the knee down. Come to rest in your child's pose, or maybe you sit and roll out your wrists. You do what you prefer. So those movements, and I'll just talk as you're resting here, those movements where we challenge our balance by purposefully bringing ourselves a little off balance, like extending one leg behind us. They're the most effective movements for strengthening those multifidus back muscles, those deep back muscles. All right, here we go again. Now, my wrists are starting to get a little sore, so I'm going to choose to go on my forearms for this one. You choose what you want. Left leg extends back, and then as you probably feel your weight shift over to the right, let's bring it back. Top hip, back hip, left hip rolls down. Take your breath here. As you inhale, you're bringing the knee in. You're exhaling to shh. Inhale, bring it in, trying to stay as level as possible. Exhale, shushing it back. One more time. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, shush it back. Good. Now lift the leg up. Does not need to be high. We just want to keep those hips level. Now even press out through the heel. Imagine the heel presses back towards the back of the room. One more breath. Good. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Come again to your resting place. Maybe that's a little child's pose. Maybe it's rolling out the wrists. Maybe a little combo of the both. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Another couple of breaths. Giving yourself your permission to rest. Pause and breathe. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Lovely. Great. Now, what we're going to come into next is a hip release. Go ahead and roll yourself up. Now, as many of you probably have experienced with sciatic nerve pain, the side hip muscles get really tight, hey? This is the piriformis side hip muscle. So pigeon pose can be really good for this. I'm going to show you a few different variations. You can join in whatever one looks good. Now, what I'm starting with here, so I would be up on my knees and then I slide the legs over. I bring my front shin, doesn't matter which, a little forward. And then the back leg, it's truly up to you. It can be bent a little bit behind you, or it can be bent a little less, or it can even be straight. So you're going to choose what's more comfortable for you. It doesn't matter which way you're orientated right now. Now, this in itself is a release for that hip. If it feels okay on the knee, what you can then do, and I love using a bolster for this, is start to lean over that front leg a little bit. So maybe use the bolster. You might even stack a block on top for a little support. If as you bend forward right away, your knee goes, that doesn't feel good. You're going to stay up instead and do a little stretch back. Great. Now what I'm going to do is come around to give you a hand with something. Can I offer you a block for underneath that knee too? How's that feel there, Patty? Does it feel like there's any pain on it as you come forward? Yeah.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Right here.
Yeah, that's where we want to feel it for sure. Let me get you another block for head support, okay? Great. Now, really important here is to breathe. Let's go ahead and feel full breath in and out. Feel those beautiful ribs. Here you go. For your head. There you go. Yeah. Good. Diane, how's that feeling for you? Okay. Do you want to put this underneath your head too? Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Good. I'm going to take another breath or two. Another breath or two. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Okay, now really gently, very slowly, start to walk your way up. And then see how it would be to swing your legs forward. We just want to give the knees a little bit of circulation. So you can just give a little shake. Now, our bodies are often totally different from right to left side. So we're going to try this on the other side. And if you get that strong signal from your body that says no, I'm going to show you another one instead. So swinging the legs over to the other side. And then you can adjust again. What kind of bend for that back leg feels okay? A little or less. It's okay if you feel really leaned over to one side. And then you can start to bend your way forward and give yourself whatever support best works for you. Now, if as you're coming forward, you're getting any of those signals from the body that say no, please let me know. I'm going to take a little walk around for my in-person friends and call me over if anything's not feeling good. Now, it's possible that you might feel it in the front hip. Also possible you might feel this release in the back hip too. That's okay. The thing we want to be mindful of is that the majority of sensation is not in the knees. If you have majority of sensation in your knees, that's a signal for you to stay upright, or we can even come on our back for figure four. Let that breath be really full as you feel that beautiful hip release. So letting go of tension with every exhale. Yeah, you got it. Beautiful. Good. Another breath in and out. Yeah, wonderful. Now, very slowly, gently start to walk your way up. Once again, we'll give those legs a bit of a shake so you can move the props out of the way if they're in the way. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. Great. Okay. Now, from here, we're going to make our way down to the ground. We'll be on the ground for the whole rest of class. But if you have a water bottle, this is a great time to have a little sip. Also, if you're making your way down now, we're going to be using the slow-mo ball underneath the upper back area. And have a little sip of water for. I'm going to get into our shoulders a little bit more. So head support's really important when we're using the slow-mo ball in the upper back. So I actually double my blanket. And then it goes between shoulder blades. So kind of think bra line, heart rate monitor line area. So that as you lie down, if you can see me, there's a little lift in the upper back. So it kind of counters that natural rounding that we often have. Now, if you find your head support isn't high enough, let me know. I can always bring over another block or something else for you. If you're unsure about where that slow-mo ball should be, also signal to me and I'm really happy to come over. Let's see. Now, it looks in the right place, but let's give you some sweet head support here. How's that? Does it feel centered though? Okay, good. Yeah, looks good to me, yeah. So let's try first bringing arms a little out to the side, palms face up. And if you need to move some props around, go ahead and do that, just so you have a bit of freedom. And try first just wiggling through fingers, just wiggling through fingers. This in itself, even without adding on any more movement, so good for the neck and shoulders. Another thing you can add on, as long as it's okay for you, is turning the head over to one side, as if you're looking over a shoulder, but eyes can be closed. There's the inhale. And then as you exhale, head back through center. Inhale to the other side. And exhale back through center. Now start on the first side again. Turn the head to that first side. Now my head is to my left, so my opposite hand is my right. If your head's to your right, your opposite hand is your left. The opposite hand, let those fingers wiggle a little bit. And if you want, you can even move the arm up a little bit, sort of up on the ground, or even up off the ground. Getting a little bit more opening on that side through movement of the fingers. Yeah. And then go ahead, bring the hand back to neutral, head goes to the other side. And then same thing, so my head's to my right, so I'm gonna move my opposite fingers, that's my left. There's a line of fascia, connective tissue, that comes all the way down the side of the neck, down the arm, down to the fingers. So any of us with upper back tension, which is usually all of us, we can feel a little release through that. Yeah, you can even slide that arm a little bit up and down if you want on the ground, kind of like you're shining the floor, or you can bring the arm up a bit. Yeah. And then let's bring the head back through center, arm back to neutral. We'll do some arm movements here. Let's start with our Hakini Mudra. That's fingertips lightly touching, palms apart, elbows bent. As you inhale, arms come up over the head. As you exhale, hands come back to the heart. So don't worry about the hands where they land. It truly doesn't matter. This is more about release in that upper back area. Upper back around the shoulders, between the shoulder blades. We'll do a couple more like that, just a little sliding, gliding. So raising up and sliding back down. Yeah, you got it. Good. And then next time hands come to the heart, let's change up the movement into little wings. So as we inhale, arms fly out to the side, little wing-like movement. And then exhale, arms back together. So finding the arms go wide out on the inhale. And then arms float back on the exhale. And then from there, I'm going to give you a couple of options. So one is just to continue like this. Another, if you want to work one side at a time, is once again, you can have just the one arm up. So I've got my right arm up, turning my head as if I'm looking over to the left. And then I'm going to start a little circle, that whole right arm bone, rolling it around. You can always have a little look at me if you're unsure. You can also try just one arm going out to the side and back. That's when I like quite a bit. Imagining the elbow kind of leads the movement. I've been working on one side, so I'm going to switch to the other side. I turn my head as if I'm looking over the right shoulder. Left arm comes up, and I'll start with those little circles and then other movements. So intention here being very soft and gentle. Thinking about this fluid, almost floating, water-like quality here of movement. Gentle release for the upper back. Almost like you're moving through water. Yeah, another breath or two, however you are. Let's bring those arms back to a fairly neutral position. Take another breath or two. And then what we can do is come off the slow-mo ball. So the easiest way I find to do that is just to roll over to one side, reach back for the slow-mo ball, remove it, then lie on my back again. I'm going to bring my head support a little lower now. And then see what might feel good. Maybe windshield wiper knees. See how it feels in that upper back area now. Yeah, great. Yeah, beautiful, good. Now we're going to do a little back bend here. And for this back bend, as we come up and down, you may find that the head support is not necessary as you come up and down. You can try it out and see. So this is just a, let's see. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hands down beside you. Take a breath here to inhale. And then as you exhale, press down through the heels and lift your bum up just a little bit. So really think a little bit, like maybe a hand could go underneath the bum, maybe not. Take a breath there. Good. And then as you exhale, lower your bum back down. So just checking to see, how did that feel? If it feels okay, we're going to do it again. Take another breath to inhale. As you exhale, press through the heels, lift your bum up. Now this time we're going to stay. Take a breath to inhale. Another breath to exhale. And now your choice. If it feels okay to lift up another inch, you can, but you don't need to. Another thing to try to activate a bit more strength is to lift up the toes. Lift up the toes. Notice that the legs really engage to support you. Take another breath. And then start to slowly release all the toes down. Take another breath just in your back bend as you are. And then please come all the way down. Come all the way down. You've got it. Great. From here, see what would feel good. Maybe some windshield wiper knees or knees to chest. So also just that very small back bend, lifting bum up and down. Another thing we can do to sort of put in our little toolkit to help for that sciatic nerve pain. You don't need to come up a lot for that. Now let's come back into our hips, and this will be the final thing we do together before our rest. I'm going to do a figure 4 position. So it's really exactly like pigeon pose, just lying on our backs. So you can cross one ankle over. Now, this is where massage balls come in. So you can get your 2 massage balls and place them under the hips. If you've just got one massage ball like I have, you can place it under the hip of the leg that's bent. If you need different massage balls, you let me know. That looks really good. Yeah. And then you just cross one leg over. Yeah. Does that feel okay? Yeah. Great. Patty, do you have the massage balls that you want? What would you like? I'll give you another one, okay? Yeah. So this similarly to pigeon pose, releasing that outer hip muscle. The reason, here you go. You're welcome. Why it gets so tight with low back issues, particularly sciatic issues, is the piriformis muscle is the only one that the sciatic nerve comes right under. And I'm just pointing on my body to where that is. That's kind of side butt area. So really common for this to get tight. Also common for sciatica to feel a little bit released after you massage it. If you have the opposite sensation, like you feel like the nerve itself is being pressed on as you do this, like a sharp shooting or electric sensation, that means that you need to move those massage balls right away. We never ever want to press on the nerve. It's very rare, by the way. There's a very small percentage of people that will feel this. It's because their sciatic nerve actually runs or innervates in that muscle. Very, very rare, but something for us to watch out for. If what you feel as you're doing this is like, whoa, it's really tight there, that's very normal human piriformis. And just keep breathing fully. Yeah, great. Now we can get a little deeper. So if that figure 4 feels good, here's another thing you can try. And I love this. What I'll do is I'll bring my leg up, bring it a little bit out to the side with a knee bent, and then I'll just start to draw a little circle with the whole thigh bone. Now, on some days, this is too much for me. So you can check out, is this okay for me still? Here's how you know if you're breathing fully, like you can exhale completely, likely if it's okay. If your breath has started to be held or your body got tense, it's likely a little too much today. You can also work with bigger circles or a little even upping and downing with the leg if that's okay. So lots of creative movements we can do. I'm going to switch over to the other side as you're ready. So, because I have one ball, I'm going to move that to my other side. If you've got 2, you're great. And start that little rock to the side and back. Now, no, you can always move your ball. You can move it a little up or down or in or out. Really common to feel the need or urge to move the ball or to shift it a little bit as you shift to the second side. So that's just fine. Explore and see what feels best for you. You really are the expert in your body. The more you practice a practice like this, the more you get to know the signals from your body, the signals of release, of letting go, the signals of tension. Ideally, we're working with letting go, releasing here. If you want, you can try that other bit where you lift the leg up, bring it out to its own side, and start a little circle. Sometimes that's good. Knowing it's really normal for it to be different from side to side. This doesn't feel good on this side. Go into what does feel good for you. Great. Yeah. Beautiful. Now, I'll not be leading you through any other massage today, but that being said, if it feels like, oh, I really want to do more massage, either in the hips or in the shoulders, Please take time to do that. We've got lots and lots of time today. The only thing we'll be moving into now is our Shavasana, our rest. And for this, there's two options that I can offer you, although of course you're welcome to rest however you want. The first is legs on a chair, and that can be so good for releasing the low back. But if the shoulders are feeling really tense today, you might want to try this heart bed, where you put your bolster propped up on the thick block, and then you bring your bum, so you lean against the bolster and come back. So that can be nice if you want to work on opening up the chest. But if low back is quite tender today, I really recommend legs on a chair. What I'm going to be doing is coming around with chairs, and you can just let me know what you'd like. Is it a chair? Do you want some help with heart bed? Yeah, I'm just watching out for your little fingers. Good. You're welcome. Good. Diane, what would you like today? Yeah, good. There you go. I'm going to bring it just a little closer to you. I'm just watchful of your fingers. Good. And bolster on top. Okay, great. It does feel good. Yeah, the weight on the legs with legs on a chair helps to release the psoas muscle, that hip flexor. So that's why it can feel so good. Debbie, yeah. There you go, my friend. Good. Excellent. Good. Laurie, what would you like today? Do you want to try it? If you don't like it, you can always come off it. Yeah, you get to choose. I'll come around with another bolster, okay? There you go. Nina, you're comfy there? Yeah, absolutely you can. For sure. Want to try it? You're welcome. Can I get another one for you for your tummies? Great. You're welcome. I'm just taking a little look around the studio. If there's anything at all that you'd like that you don't have, you let me know. How does that feel? Yeah, sometimes it's nice to sit on this block just so that there's not a dip in your low back. See how that is? Better or worse? Okay, all right. Good. Eddie, can I get you anything at all? Okay. Let's take time with our breath here. Full breath in and full breath out. Really let it go. If you want, you can find that full. Yeah, beautiful, everyone. Good. Getting yourself comfy and cozy. Your only job here is to rest, to support yourself fully. And know at any time if your needs change, you can meet those needs. So no expectation to stay still unless that's really working for you. You choose. Now let's start to go back to that full diaphragmatic breathing. So breathing in and out of the nose, finding the belly rise on the inhale. Put this underneath your knees. And that little release on the exhale. So that full diaphragmatic breathing in and out of the nose. Expansion outward as you inhale. Return to center, a little gathering, narrowing on the exhale. I'm going to lead you through today a counting of breath. Know as I lead you through that my count may not be the right pacing for you. We're all a little different. So if you find I'm too fast or too slow, know you can just ignore my count. And instead just silently say to yourself, I am exhaling. Or maybe remind yourself of your samkalpa, that intention. Say, for example, it was letting go. And you could say silently to yourself, I am letting go as I exhale. And for those of you who'd like to try the count with me, let's start with a full exhale, releasing out the breath completely. And then we inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Invite full breath in and out. Notice how it might feel a little different after focusing on the breath in that specific way. Sometimes we find we have a larger capacity for breath after practicing our breathing or pranayama. Maybe we might even feel a little calmer. Notice if there is any effect here for you. And then start to remind yourself of that samkalpa, that intention that you set for practice today. And feel as if you could breathe that in and as if you could breathe that out. As if each cell in your body could become infused with that samkalpa. And then very gently, very lovingly, and draw our awareness back into the body, back into being in this room. And as you do, start to invite in really soft, gentle movements. So it might be that you wiggle the fingers a little bit. You might wiggle the toes. You might gently roll the head, the neck a little from side to side. Those of you who have a chair and a bolster, I'm going to make my way around to remove those. Takes me a little bit of time, but I'll get there. You're welcome. And see what feels good for you right now. So maybe a stretch or a yawn, maybe a little movement of the head, just as we did before. You're welcome. Maybe something else. Maybe it's moving in a different way than we've moved to date so far. See what feels good. Great. Yeah. And it might feel good to stretch out long, maybe heels press forward, maybe a big yawn once again. Or maybe it feels good together. Knees in towards the chest. I'm going to take our time transitioning. I invite you first just to roll over to one side. Take a couple of breaths there. So enjoying your transition. And then as you feel ready, go ahead and push yourself so you come up to a seated position. I'm sitting on a bolster. You sit on whatever feels good for you. Doesn't matter how you sit, as long as you feel okay. You can, if you want, invite the hands to the heart. The eyes can close, and we'll close our practice with 3 shared breaths. So first exhaling, releasing the breath, letting go. And then inhaling, breathing deep into the space of the heart. Exhale, soft sigh out the mouth, letting go. Again, inhale into the heart. Exhale, little sigh out the mouth. Yeah, beautiful. One more breath, just like that. Please softly bow your head over your fingertips. Here, symbolically releasing the thoughts of the mind into the space of the heart. So, infusing all thoughts with the qualities of the heart: love, compassion, and forgiveness. Let's take another breath, lifting the heart to the mind. And then, as you exhale, slowly peel, open your eyes, softly lift your gaze. Thank you so much for sharing your practice today. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming today. My in studio friends, my pleasure. You take